I never thought betrayal would wear a familiar face, let alone two. I live in a small two-bedroom apartment in San Diego. Nothing fancy, white walls, noisy neighbors, and a view of the alley. But it was home. It was mine. And I shared it with her, Emily, my girlfriend of 3 years. The girl I thought I'd marry someday. And my best friend, Jason? He practically lived here too. We'd been boys since high school. Thick as thieves, or so I thought. It was a Thursday. I remember that because I came home early from work, half day at the office. A rare gift. I thought I'd surprise Emily with lunch and maybe a movie marathon. I even grabbed her favorite sushi. I pushed open the door and stepped into silence. That was the first clue. Emily was always blasting music, especially while cleaning or scrolling her phone. But today, dead quiet. I placed the food on the kitchen counter and made my way to the bedroom. I wish I could say I sensed something, like a gut feeling or intuition. But no, I was smiling, happy, carefree, until I opened the door. There they were. Emily, my Emily, and Jason, my best friend, tangled up in my sheets, laughing, kissing, like I didn't exist. She didn't even look shocked, just annoyed. "Oh, you're early," she said, like I'd walked into a business meeting uninvited. Jason couldn't even meet my eyes. Coward. And then she said it. "What are you gonna do? Cry?" Like I was some joke. Some weak, emotional wreck she didn't have to respect anymore. I felt my world crack open. Not just from the cheating, but from the casual cruelty. That tone. That smirk. She didn't love me. She didn't even like me. And Jason? He was too spineless to even apologize. I didn't yell. Didn't scream. Didn't throw the sushi across the room, even though I wanted to. I just stared at them for a moment. Then I smiled. "I won't cry," I said. "But you will." And I walked out. No door slam. No dramatic exit. Just silence. That night, I turned off my phone and stayed at a friend's place. The anger simmered, but something else took root, clarity. I'd been too soft, too trusting. But not anymore. The next morning, I turned my phone back on. 42 missed calls. Half from Emily, the rest from Jason. Guess the fun didn't last long. But me? I was calm. Because revenge was coming. You'd think after what I saw, I'd be broken. Maybe curled up in a corner somewhere, crying into my hoodie. But no, I wasn't shattered. I was sharp, clear. I had nothing left to lose, and that makes a man dangerous. I spent that night crashing on my coworker Darren's couch. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a beer, turned on the game, and let me breathe. That's what real friends do. At 7 a.m., my phone buzzed again. Emily. I didn't answer. She called. Again and again. Then came the texts. "I messed up. I didn't mean for it to happen. Can we talk?" Pathetic. Then Jason joined in. This was the guy who once punched a dude for cutting in line in front of me. Now he was sending me, "Bro, I'm sorry," like it fixed anything. I ignored them both. But I didn't block them. I wanted them to stew in silence. Because silence is power. But I wasn't done. I wasn't just going to walk away like some defeated ex-boyfriend. No, I was going to end this on my terms. That day, I went home. Not to forgive. To plan. The place was quiet. Too quiet. A faint trace of her perfume still lingered in the air. My bed was stripped. She'd packed up most of her stuff. Good. Less for me to burn. But she left her laptop. And Jason? He'd left his hoodie on the back of my chair. Same one I lent him last winter. Disrespectful. I opened the laptop. No password. Typical Emily, trusting me to never betray her. Ironic, isn't it? Within minutes, I found everything I needed. Chat logs. Photos. Plans. Turns out this wasn't some one-time fling. It had been going on for months. And worse, they'd been mocking me in their messages. He's so clueless. Poor guy still thinks I love him. Let's tell him after his birthday. Don't want to ruin his little party. My stomach turned, but my heart hardened. They'd played me like a fool, laughed behind my back, used my home as their little love nest. So I started my revenge. Step 1. I gathered every screenshot, every filthy message, every inside joke they made at my expense. Step 2. I sent a package to Jason's girlfriend, Vanessa. Yeah, he had a girlfriend too. Apparently, cheating runs deep. Step 3. I contacted Emily's workplace. She worked at a small boutique downtown. Her boss hated drama. I didn't need to lie. Just a few screenshots attached to a polite, anonymous email. Enough to make her life uncomfortable. By sunset, the fallout began. Vanessa posted a fiery Instagram story exposing Jason, Emily's manager called her in for a talk. And both of them, still blowing up my phone. I hadn't even gotten started. Because revenge isn't a moment. It's a masterpiece. Revenge is a slow burn. And by the third day, the flames were starting to spread. Vanessa didn't hold back. She exposed Jason with the fury of a woman scorned. She uploaded a photo carousel to Instagram, screenshots, dates. Even a group photo where Jason had his arm around both her and Emily. Caption: Meet my ex and his side chick. Plot twist: she was dating my boyfriend's best friend. It went viral in our circle. Over 100 shares in the first hour. Jason tried damage control. He texted me, "Man, this is spiraling. Please talk to me. Let's fix this." Fix what? Our friendship? My trust? My soul? Nah. Emily, meanwhile, had gone ghost until I bumped into her. It was unplanned. I stopped at the coffee shop near my old place. She was in line ahead of me, pale and jumpy. Her mascara smudged like she'd been crying for days. She turned around and froze when she saw me. "Hey," she said weakly. I said nothing. She scrambled. "Can we talk? Please. I know I screwed up, but..." I cut her off with one line. "You were just a chapter, not the whole story." Her eyes welled up, but I didn't flinch. I walked away. That was all she'd get from me, closure denied. But I wasn't done. Jason had one weakness: his reputation. He worked at a digital marketing firm. Clean image, big clients. Full of motivational posts on LinkedIn about integrity and team spirit. So I created a burner account. Then I scheduled a post. Every incriminating text and photo without my name. Without context, just a story titled, "What Happens When Loyalty Dies." His colleagues saw it. One even reposted it with the caption, "Yikes. Who did this?" He called me that night, for the first time. "You need to stop this, bro. You've made your point." I didn't answer. I just let him talk into the silence until he hung up. And then Emily tried again. This time a long message. "I never stopped loving you. It was a mistake. I was lonely. I thought you didn't care anymore." Funny. I showed I cared every day. She just wanted more. More attention. More drama. More Jason. But here's the twist. I wasn't even angry anymore. I was free. For the first time in years. I didn't feel like I was walking on emotional eggshells. I was sleeping better. Laughing more. Eating meals that didn't taste like guilt. Revenge didn't make me bitter. It made me better. But there was one last thing. I had to do something to bury the past and move forward for good. And for that, I needed one final conversation. Just not with Emily. Not with Jason. But with someone else entirely. The final piece of my plan wasn't revenge. It was peace. But not the kind people beg for after the damage is done. This peace was for me. Quiet. Personal. The kind that doesn't need closure from others. Only truth. I reached out to someone I hadn't spoken to in months. My older brother, Marcus. We'd drifted apart after he moved to Chicago. But he'd always told me, when life punches you in the gut, don't punch back right away. Step back, breathe, and choose your moment. He was the only person I wanted to talk to. We met at a rooftop bar overlooking the city. The breeze was cool, the drinks were strong. And for the first time, I told someone everything about Emily. Jason, the betrayal, the aftermath. No filters. No edits. When I finished, Marcus just nodded. "You've already won," he said. And he was right. Because while Emily and Jason were left scrambling, blocked, exposed, and unraveling, I was rebuilding. Quietly. Purposefully. I moved out of that old apartment and into a place that didn't remind me of broken trust. I deleted every photo, every memory that felt like a lie. I started hitting the gym again. I reconnected with people I'd pushed away during my relationship. Turns out, they'd noticed the red flags I'd ignored. One of them was Sarah. We'd worked at the same company for a while. Smart, kind, easy to talk to. She'd always had this calm energy that made everything feel manageable. We grabbed coffee one day, just as friends. It turned into a 3-hour conversation. No expectations. No pretending. Just two people being real. Emily tried one last time. She showed up at my building, crying, mascara running, holding a small box. "I kept some of your stuff," she said. "Thought maybe we could start over." I looked her in the eye and said, "You're not the villain in my story anymore. You're just a name in a chapter one already closed." Then I walked away. No shouting. No dramatics. Just quiet strength. Jason faded out. I heard through the grapevine that Vanessa dumped him, and his job was reevaluating his fit with the company. I didn't care. He wasn't my problem anymore. As for me, I started telling this story, not out of bitterness, but as a reminder. People will betray you. Sometimes the ones you trust the most. But that doesn't mean you become them. You don't have to get even to win. Sometimes the real revenge is living well, stronger, smarter, happier. And trust me, they'll watch.